Hey, everybody, welcome to the show tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day. This is Scotty Roberts broadcasting to you live from my makeshift studio in my makeshift life down here in Louisiana, away from my home studio and everything that seems civilized to me and everything that's lovely. And so here I am on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th of 2021. I want to welcome you all here to the show. Scotty, have you ever hung out with Dave? Which Dave are you talking about, Siani? Which Dave? Are you talking about Dave Schrader? Are you talking about, I'm not sure which Dave you mean. Audrey, good to see you. I just came off of Teresa's show, the Andromeda 7 show, and of course we had multiple internet connectivity issues, which is just a pain in the butt. I am really getting tired of the internet here. So if Dave's not here, man. Says, oh, Dave Schrader. Yes, I have hung out with Dave Schrader. I got to know Dave Schrader back, way back in, I want to say 2006 is when I first met him. And he and I, he came to a party at my house, and so we had a good time. And look what we got, by the way, today. We got Jameson Irish whiskey. It's a blend, but it's probably the only blend that I'll drink. And so Sam and I are going to try some of this for you tonight with a little recipe that's very easy to do. Let me make some room for Sam. Hey guys, how you doing? There's my son Sam. Here, why don't you move this way just a little bit so we can get your head from behind the logos. There we go. There we are. And so yes, Siani, I have hung with Dave Schrader. He used to bring me out to his Darkness Radio events back in the day, 2006 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, somewhere in there. And that's where I met a lot of the people that I do a lot of work with now. And it was through Dave Schrader. So Dave Schrader helped promote me and what I do in my very early days in the paranormal community anyway. And he, oh my goodness. And he, by bringing me to all his events, I got to meet a lot of people. That's how I ended up meeting Jason and Grant with the Ghost Hunters, and they ended up asking me to come to work for them as the editor-in-chief of their magazine. And I met a lot of people through that. And so, you know how things snowball in life. So yes, I have hung with Dave. There's a good way to put that. Dave has, he's got his show now, which is a phenomenal show. And the Holzer Files, I thought it was a really great, unique take. I gotta add this in here. I really like what Dave brings to the table with that show, which is to me very unique amongst paranormal shows altogether. He has a certain way he does things. I like the way he reacts. I like the way he has structured the show. I don't know how much of that is personally his input or input he has with the producers. And I don't even know, is Dave one of the producers of that show as well? I don't know. But I have found that to be alongside of Amy Bruni, her show Kindred Spirits with Adam Berry. Those two seem to be really good, solid paranormal shows. And maybe it's because I know all those people and I know the kind of people they are. I knew Adam Berry less than I knew Amy Bruni. I knew her very well. And she's a decent, honest, credible person. And what she does in that show, I really enjoy. Dave Schrader, he and I, and many people know, it's no secret, we had a falling out for a few years, back in 2010 for a couple of years. And it was Dave that came to me and said, hey, he says, I really need to make things right with you, and let's bury the hatchet. And we did. Moved on from there. So I find Dave's show to be very credible. His people are very credible. So there you go. And people all say, Well, it's television, so they're going to fake it anyway for ratings. I don't think so. Not with these people. This would be one to say, if you're going to show that we're getting no evidence, we show that we get no evidence. Now, I personally don't know Zach Baggins and his crew, but I also find them very credible. I know some people who have worked very closely with them. I had a friend who I've mentioned before who is a Byzantine priest who was called on by Zach Baggins, very much not into doing the paranormal stuff, but was called on. And he went and he did a couple of, I don't know if that they were exorcisms, as they were blessings in places where they felt there were demonic entities. He was on a couple of their shows, Father Jack Ashcraft. And Jack said to me several years ago, he says, one thing I will say about Zach Baggins, he says he takes what he does very seriously. What you see on camera is what you get with him in real life. He said, I found a mode of seriousness to what he is doing that equaled none other I had seen. And so, if anything else, he's a true believer. Um, hey, Master Finn, good to see you here today. Nice to have you in your Steve Clark. Nice. And there we are. We're now on again. We got some glitch at me. I got it. That's my dog. Give me that. So before we go much further, my son Sam is very our internet is so glitchy tonight. I hope you can see us. I hope it's not too what'd you call it? Hey, you know what I can do, Sam? We should look up the YouTube channel here. I just want to see how it's displaying here tonight. Let's go take a look. Well, this isn't YouTube we're looking at, but let's go into the live show right now. And I've got my sound down. I just want to see how this is displaying for us. So there's the chat room down below. There you go. So there. Now you can see on there. Now, folks, we can monitor ourselves a little bit. It's not on the internet here. It's on my phone's internet. So Sam and I wanted to do something, and Sam requested we do something that we hadn't done together before, and let's have a drink of Jameson on St. Patrick's Day. And so we're going to do that here in a moment. I just want to.
You gotta tell the story of my
kids. Oh, I'll tell it. I'll tell it. Hey, Steve Clark, good to see you. And Roger Rabbit, good to see you. You lost your ID. No way like that one. Oh, that's terrible. You know, we're lost without our stuff that society requires we have on us, like ID, driver's license, all of that stuff. I carry all kinds of stuff in my wallet, and even have my passport in my wallet. I keep it in a zip pocket on my pants, not the main zip pocket. It's the side zip pocket. So, how you doing, Steve? Howdy to you too. So welcome to everybody. If I missed you, hey, Doug Stack. I got to see Doug Stack today. He came up here and we all went down here from where he is. And we went out to Mexican for lunch today. Viva! Andale! And so Doug, thanks for being here. It was good to see you, brother. And I think we had a really good time. So before we go much further, because it's St. Patrick's Day, I've bought a few items. They were all in one box. We tried a tester box of Jameson. We've got Jameson Irish whiskey. We've got Jameson Black Barrel. And we've got Jameson Caskmates. And I'll tell you all a little bit more about these as we go. We're going to give those a try tonight. But a little backstory here. You all remember I told you about, yes, wine is yummy, Siani. I could wine for you. Ah! Different kind of wine.
You want some cheese with that wine?
Yes, I would, please. Preferably not Swiss cheese. A nice pepper jack would be good.
I would like to keep that noted. Want me to run to the store?
Yeah, would you? So yeah, mix them all together, says Field Guy. Field Guy, you're such a cretin. Never mix a blend. So anyway, Sam, when he was younger, you all remember me talking about scotch and cookies and how we used to have that gathering at my house every Thursday night. Oh, this is synchronistic. It's a Thursday night. So, oh, is it Wednesday? Oh, it's Wednesday. Never mind. There goes my synchronicity out the window.
Sorry.
You had to ruin it. You could have let me just live in my own world.
Hey,
so shut up, Scotty, says Siani. Thank you very much. Wait, what did I miss that you're telling me to shut up? Just about the wine?
Probably.
Probably. So, I'm looking. My kids can do the. Oh, yeah. I knew it was going to go back to having kids. Kids whining. I get it. So, at Scotch and Cookies, this was a gathering I had at my house every Thursday night of like-minded demagogues of hobnobbing wizardly banter. And we didn't drink to play the inebriates, but rather to share in a ideological and philosophical oneness. Boom, you me 1-1. And so we're all drinking scotch, hence the name Scotch and Cookies. And I had all of my friends were standing around. We're pouring scotches. We had several scotches open. We're talking single malt Highland Scotch. Anything with a Glenben, Baldal, Ben, Mac, or O at the beginning was good. And it had to be single malts. And so we're cracking some scotches, and I've got a little snifter with some scotch in it. And Sam, my little 4-year-old boy, sweet little boy, he comes up. He goes, "Daddy, can I try some of that?" And we're like, I'm like, "Oh no, son, no." I said, "This is adult drink, adult beverage." And everybody's around him. "No, Sam, you can't drink any of that quite yet." And of course, some of my friends are like, "Let him have some now. It'll grow some hair on his chest." And I said, "No, I'm not going to let him drink it." But I said, "Here, Sam," and I handed him my snifter. And I said, "Just take a whiff of that." And I look at the guys and I'm like, "He'll get a whiff of that and he'll go running away." And Sam took the little snifter of scotch and he sniffs it. And he goes, his eyes light up. He goes, "Oh, that's good." And I was like, "Gimme that." And I took it away from him so he didn't drink it. So now the burn might have put him off of it, but who knows? It's not a super burn. It all depends on. I was probably drinking a Glenmorangie, like something like, maybe off the top of my head, a 18-year-old aged in rosewood casks, or it might have been a 10-year-old Blender's Reserve Doublewood Balvenie. So I don't know what it was, but tonight we have some Jameson, and this is all kind of, it's lacking maybe some proper ceremony, but Sam and I are going to have our first drink of Jameson together. And we've got 3 different kinds to choose from. The regular Jameson, it's an Irish whiskey. It's the traditional. Here, I'll just read you what it says on the back. It says, ingredients: locally grown barley, Irish water. I can't read that. It's in a script. Something distilled, incredibly smooth taste, before being patiently oak aged in a destination or a combination of seasoned bourbon barrels and sherry casks. And it's the combination that gives Jameson its smooth taste. So there's your Jameson. So this is the regular Jameson. And I will tell you, I've told this story once before, that I was, and they're only the small bottles. There's your Jameson. It does almost look like a bottle of beer. And so it's triple distilled Irish whiskey. And so I had a friend of mine that he and I polished off a big bottle of Jameson. And we were in our kilts. We were at a special event, and the moon was out. The moon was full, and it was a wedding, and we had a traditional Celtic wedding. And so it was a very good, and we drank a whole bottle together, and he picked me up under my arms. He's a huge Viking man. Sjogren was his last name. He picked me up, and we're both in our kilts, and he picks me up, and he starts spinning in a circle. And he says, Scotty, spin with me. And so we spun together. I did not lose my cookies. I'm surprised on that one. So, but I was 3 sheeps to the wind. But a Scotsman. So there you go. Now we've also got the Jameson Black Barrel. And that looks like this one. You can see here's the traditional Jameson, and here's the Jameson Black Barrel. And the Black Barrel is it's a combination of oak casks, black barrels in which are flame charred under the watchful eye of our master cooper, Jer Buckley, and each cask is then carefully handpicked based on the signature flavors. And there you go. So that is it's beautifully balanced from the heart of Middleton, and it's it says this where there are aromas of creamy butterscotch, juicy nectarines, apricots, and pepper. It's for the smoothest, richest. That is your Jameson. So have your Jameson Caskmates, and the Caskmates is same with tune, all the classic smoothness of triple distilled Jameson Irish whiskey, which is this one, with unique notes of coffee, cocoa, and hops, and a long, sweet finish with hints of butterscotch and chocolate. So enjoy it neat or on the rocks. We're going to enjoy it neat tonight. So I don't like my scotch on the rocks. You know why? I like it neat because the ice doesn't melt and start adding water. However, now, Sam, by the way, here is the Caskmates, the Jameson Caskmates. So there we go. So Sam and I will be sampling these for you tonight, and it'll be the first for Sam and I. And let's see, what are we missing? Susie's going, good night. Good night, Susie. Hello and good night. And I see there's some chat going on here, so here we go. We're going to do this. Oh, Field Guy said we're under a tornado warning here until 2 a.m. We had that here as well over on the opposite side of the state, Field Guy. And supposedly canceled out at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. But it's so what is it now? It's about 9:20. So and it's been a gorgeous evening. And so here we go. Now there is something Barry Fitzgerald, if you remember him, and I've talked about this story before. Barry Fitzgerald, he's the Irish guy that was on Ghost Hunters International. He had been on the Ghost Hunters show, then he got the lead in Ghost Hunters International. We flew him out from Ireland, and he stayed at my house for 2 or 3 nights before the symposium started. Then we put him up at the main hotel. And let's see, Field Guy. Yes, that's where it came from. Oh, it came from us. Okay, there you go. And so Barry Fitzgerald was staying at my house, and John War was there, British, from here, and he came out from the symposium. So Barry and John were staying in my house a couple of days before the symposium, and Barry said, you know where I can be getting some Jameson? And I said, yeah, let's go down to the liquor store. And then he wanted something that I know I told this story recently because I remember saying this recently. He asked some name of some soda pop, and I didn't recognize it. And then he said, it's something like 7-Up or Sprite. I said, we got Sprite. So we got some, here we got some Sprite for you. And so we'll do a couple of straight shots, and then we're going to go ahead and do some with Sprite. Maybe we'll try with Sprite first, and we can do a shot later. What do you want to do, Sam? We ought to do the Black Barrel.
Let's try a shot of the Black Barrel, and then we'll do the.
All right.
We'll do the
this is the Black Barrel. Now we're opening this brand new
children cups here.
Oh yes, and this is our wee child cups. And so the Black Barrel again is the one that has the. It's supposed to have this smoky. That's the one. It's got the butterscotch with nectarines, apricots, peppery spice, accompanied by a nutty vanilla sweetness and sherry fruit from the casks. So here we go. Yo, hey Sarah Nichols, how you doing? Oh, that smells really good. All right, so there is Sam's shot. There we go. I'm going to take my shot. All right. This is our Jameson Black Barrel Irish Whiskey. I guess I'm off camera with it. There you go. Jameson Black Barrel Irish Whiskey. So, happy St. Patty's Day. Here's mood in your eye. So, sláinte. Here we go. Oh, man. That burns your nasal cavities. Comes right up into your nose. The burn. But that aftertaste is amazing.
Yeah, very. I can taste.
I'm looking for the butterscotch, and I'm looking for the.
I can taste the butterscotch. I can't really. I'm not getting really a fruity flavor. I'm really sticking on the butterscotch and vanilla.
I say if you do this, you close your mouth like you're breathing out, but close your mouth. You can taste. There's a bit of that fruitiness in there. So on top of that, think of that. Think of having butterscotch and chocolate, and then maybe having a little fruit finish of apricot in there. And what else did they say? It was apricot and nectarines, and a peppery spice, and a vanilla sweetness.
Peppery spice.
I get that. Yeah, that's the burn. So that's your Jameson Black Barrel Irish whiskey. All right. That wasn't bad at all. Now, let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? We're going to look at your traditional Jameson. Let's see if I can get it without the light wiping out the text. So there's your Jameson Irish whiskey. We're going to open that baby up. It's very good, Siani Reese. So, the Pogmatones today. Hey, Sean Bowden. Good to see you. Nice to have you here. All right, here we go. Here's Sam's official Jameson Irish whiskey sippy cup. All right.
The sticker
now
says that on the side.
Don't drink that. Let me do the same. All right. So here's our traditional Jameson Irish whiskey. And the reason these are so small, folks, you didn't see at the beginning, we got all three of these. All came in a, that's very nice.
At least it was the water and not the whiskey.
At least it was the water, not the whiskey. I just tipped a whole bottle of ice cold water into my crotch. So, woo! Congratulate me on my stalwartness. Am I barely showing any emotion at all while that happened? If it had been the whiskey, it'd be, fuck no! So, all right. Oh, that's the cask mates. Okay, I already got that. We've got to do. Where's Siani Reese that you want to join her, Doug Stack? Is she in the bath again? I guess this show is just at bath time for people. Now we take a little Sprite and we add that to the Irish whiskey. About half and half. Now, Barry Fitzgerald was pouring these with about this much scotch and about that much Sprite on top of it, and made quite the snifter out of it.
Oh, man.
And
Grandma Gussie, I stayed with her one weekend, and she used to. There's a full cup of vodka, and she put a teaspoon of Tang in it.
She called it drinking her Tang.
Yep.
That's his grandma. Woo! So, all right, now this is. I actually, when I went to Egypt the last time, I brought a huge bottle in the customs store of Jameson so I could bring it into the country, and some Sprite. And we made some of these up on the Dahabeyat every night until it was gone. Maybe it was a night or two. So, what did Beth say? I was walking to school, Carlton, Iowa, with the other kids when a tornado hit. We hit the ground and it missed us, but that was frightening. I'll bet it was. So here, let's drink to Beth Kirkham's tornado story. And now you're going to like this. It's going to go down. And you don't have to, you can sip this one more if you want to. But here you go. Here's a little Jameson, traditional Jameson, and Sprite.
It's like candy.
You tell me that's not good.
That's good.
That's good. Yum. And if you want to, you can even add more Sprite. So you get that little kick of Jameson in it, as opposed to the half and half mix. So,
friend.
Which friend? Oh, yeah.
Drink a whole glass of.
Yeah, I think he was pretty hardened Scotch drinker. Would be my Irish whiskey drinker. So knew his stuff. So you're welcome, Beth. That's to your story, and here's to you and yours. So, all right, it's St. Paddy's Day. It's too bad we already busted the nut on our Kiss Me, I'm Irish song. We could have sung that one together tonight. We may still, yet. We'll have to see.
Where's your Irish t-shirt? Why are you not wearing that?
Oh, my Irish t-shirt.
Oh, goodness.
I totally didn't think of it. I was on Teresa Dantone's show, as I mentioned before this one. So I started about an hour and a half ago and didn't even think of changing into my Irish shirt. So sorry about that. It's just a gray t-shirt. I'm ugly enough as it is.
We'll have a few more drinks. You'll get pretty.
You got it, Doug. You got it. So I won't start any drawing projects or design projects this evening, especially after this. So here, bottoms up. That's really good. That's like drinking. Now this you could put on ice.
I thought you said bottoms up.
Oh, I didn't mean that way. Yeah. Well, now yours is gone. I can savor mine for another couple of minutes. So, 2 days before I was born, a tornado took the town of Udall off the map, except the jail and an outhouse back in 1955. Two very important things, Steve. The jail and the outhouse. So, there you go. Parents would send you to school come hell or high water. Back in those days, that's true. Trying to get out of school was ridiculous. When I was a kid in the 60s. So, well, you don't have to take me literally. So
I won't next time.
Yes.
But then that's one of the times I will have to have taken
You'll
the
have
bitter.
to. You'll have
Yes.
to. So the only one we haven't tried yet is the Caskmates. And the Caskmates is the one that has a little more, here we go, Caskmates, Jameson. And this has got the smoothness of triple distilled Jameson Irish whiskey with unique notes of coffee, cocoa, and hops, and a long, sweet finish with hints of butterscotch and chocolate.
No, that's not the butterscotch one.
It says right there, butterscotch
Are you
and
kidding
chocolate.
me?
This had butterscotch in it too, the Black Barrel. Butterscotch and chocolate.
Butterscotch must be very popular in whiskey.
It must be, well, at least maybe Scotch whiskey. So I let the world know that trouble was coming soon. Me, there you go. Yes, Steve Clark was born on the forebear of the tornado, the forerunner, the voice in the wilderness, the howl and screech in the clouds, bespoke the birth of Steve Clark in 1955. So there you go, Steve. Fantastic. This is supposed to have a little bit of a coffee flavor to it. Yeah, go ahead.
Smells kind of coffee.
A bit coffee-ish. All right, we're going to give a little bit for Sam. And we'll just do a little bit of this one. And we can do some more Sprite with these. All right. So, folks, you ready? Here is the Jameson. That's nice. So now we're gonna drink the Jameson. The Jameson Caskmates. It's got. I am not that hammered off of 2 shots of scotch. So it's the Caskmates, and this is the one that's got the coffee flavors to it, and not just coffee, but butterscotch and chocolate and hops and all of that stuff. So let's give this one a try. You ready?
Always.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh,
I taste the coffee.
I taste the coffee too, but I don't know. I don't really like that one.
That might be really good in a cup of coffee in the morning. Yes, I'd like a bowl of Fruit Loops, please, and a side of coffee with a little Jameson Caskmate in it to enhance the coffee flavor. So there you go. There's that. So let's put that away in here.
Yeah, let's put that one.
If you save the one you don't like, the one you like the least for last, that's going to be all you have left. At the end, you're going to go, oh, I've drunk the other 2, and all I've got left is the coffee flavored one.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
There you go. So let's put that one back in its little box here.
See, it's funny, he made the argument that the one you don't drink is the one that you have to drink later. But he's the one that put it away in the box first.
Well, I'm putting those away because we're going to do some standard traditional. We'll do another with the Sprite now. So, and we'll go a little heavier on the Sprite, so it's a little bit sweeter. And we'll make it our last one. Now this one's going away. This is the Black Barrel. And let's get it back in the box. So there, we've got 2 of them are now put away. We're going to put the traditional back in a minute.
We drink all.
We will not drink this all tonight. So we're going to have one more drink of this. It's called Moderation. Pour a little bit in there. I'm going to pour a little bit in there. And that leaves us, wow. These are small bottles. We've only got about a quarter of that bottle left. And that's the way it shall remain tonight. So we're going to put that one away and call it our last drink on St. Patty's Day. Now, Sam put the box away in the freezer, so I can't stick this back in its cask. But this is just a little wee bit of us celebrating some Irish. Here, take that box back out so I can put this one away. And this one goes in here.
Somewhere else.
Boom. There's the 3 of those. They're back in their box. They're going to go in the freezer where they will stay nice and cold for a future day.
Tomorrow?
Maybe tomorrow. All right, now we're going to do our special drinks. Did I see Michelle Canham Free in here? Yes, I did.
What the fuck is moderation?
Who said that?
Sean?
Sean Bowden. Well, we'll try to teach you a little bit about moderation tonight. We're just watering that down a bit with Sprite. This makes for a fine drink. A little bit of Sprite with that. That way you don't feel like you're just drinking scotch. You are drinking Irish whiskey with a wee bit of flavor in it. And that makes a very sweet drink. That's just a mixed drink now. Is all that really is. And I would probably use a sugar-free Sprite. Sam chose the Sprite, though, so it's not sugar-free.
My bad.
And it's his bad. But this is what we mixed up in Egypt, the Sprite and the Jameson Irish whiskey. Don't get the bottoms up. We have a little glitch out to get in there. I'm not sure. It's trying to get it back. There it goes. Black screen that one. See, we're watching it on the phone to see what you're seeing on your end. I can see the chat room in there. So there we are. We're back live. There, and it's moving again. The picture's moving, kind of. So, guys, I do apologize for the state of our internet. I can't do anything about it. There's nothing I can do about it, other than maybe buy a booster for the company here and have them hook it up. Siani, when are you emailing me back? She says. Oh boy, did I miss an email, or did I just plain forget? Siani, is it something you recently sent me? I'll go take a look and I'll try to get to that yet tonight. If I missed something or misplaced it in my head. Sorry about that. It's the squirrels in my brain that I sometimes misplace things I'm supposed to be doing. 30 minutes from Wichita, the biggest city in Kansas. He says, we're back, Steph. Hey, Steph. How you doing? How long have you been here, Steph? We just tried all 3 of the Jameson Irish whiskeys tonight, and we're on our 4th shot of Jameson Irish whiskey with a little bubbly in it, a little sweet bubbly called Sprite. Siani is a little hilly. Oh, Siani, a little hilly. You're not going to be there long enough, Scotty. This is Beth Kirkham. I think you forgot about the book cover. Oh, I did, Siani. There's something is not ringing a bell for me. I'll go check my email tonight, and I will get right back to you tonight. So if you're going to be up for a little bit past 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will get back to you in about 25 minutes after I've hunted up your email and see what it is. Did you send that to me by chance before I came down here? If you did that, then perhaps it is all forgotten with my studio stuff all back home. It's like another world going on back home. So if you sent it recently, I'm not sure if I saw it yet. So let me dig into it. If I responded to you, that means I saw it and I just plain forgot and I can't remember it at the moment. I don't have memory problems or anything like that. I just totally spaced it. You'll be up. I'll message you tonight, Siani. Sorry about that if I left you hanging. It was about 3 months ago. Yeah, so that was before I came back. So yeah, the thing with all the millions of things going on, thing's gone from my mind. I'm gonna go look it up and it will refresh my memory like that. I'll bet you anything. So, all right, folks, tomorrow, put out some good energy for Sam and I. It's gonna be a big day making some presentations to our clients. If they accept our bids on things, and if they do, we're ready to fly. And we will fly high. So I just wanted to put that out there, that energy. If you want to get yourself some merchandise that's associated with this show, go over to my Etsy page. That's Etsy.com. Etsy is ETSY. Etsy.com/shop/son of a patriot. And you can actually see it. It's right up, well, how to spell it anyway. Son of a patriot. Way in the upper left-hand corner.
Top one.
And we're still mirror. No, we're not. It's backwards to us. We're seeing ourselves, but it's backwards. So if I point over there, well, I mean over there. So so there you go. Yeah, I don't have memory problems either. Says Sean Bowden. I just smoke some weed and forget things sometimes. There you go. And thank you, Beth Kirkham. Tomorrow would be the first, if both of these bids, all three of these bids are accepted tomorrow. This could be the first big step to making our goals down here. So it would make us very happy.
If we get all three of these jobs, I will surpass my goal down here.
There you go. So we'll see what happens. I just thought I would ask to refresh your memory, and I'm feeling good enough to ask on here. Thank you, Siani. I appreciate that. Open channel. You can say whatever you want. Ask me anything you want. If you feel it's ever too sensitive, just text me or email me. So thank you for reminding me. It was probably, I tell you, it was. I probably never would have occurred to me again until someday I stumbled across it by accident and said, oh, damn it, I forgot to ever get back to her on that. Anything, Doug, within reason. As I said, Doug Stack came down and visited us today. He lives about an hour and a half north of here. And so we went out to a Mexican restaurant. It's filled with Mexicans eating there. Now, there weren't so many there today, but we'd been there one time before. And there were also Mexicans in the management. I think the very fetching Mexican lass was probably management. I think that's probably her establishment or her family establishment. So, and when I say fetching, it was rather sad on me again because my out didn't last long. So, I see myself on these videos and I look older every time I see myself. It's catching up, folks. It's catching up. So,
just because I'm here for comparison.
There it is. The youthful Sam is here to
son of Scotty.
Son of Scotty, as Pete refers to him. Scotty and son of Scotty. So, yes, I am Samuel Joseph Roberts, son of Scotty. Cheers. Yeah, that's good. But done by using the Sprite and pouring in the Jameson traditional Irish whiskey is you've made a sipping drink, which is very good. You know, when I was a young man, we used to hang out at this townhome place where I rented. Big grand piano shaped swimming pool, and the pool house there. And we weren't supposed to bring glass in there or drink alcohol in there, but everybody did. We're taking these plastic shakers. Actually, I did it in mason jars. They were like Classico spaghetti. I would, once I was done with those, I'd rinse them out, soap them out, put them in the dishwasher, sterilize them, and then I would use those and I put ice in it, and we would make what's called Alabama Slammers. And what was that? Hold on. I just got distracted. I got to look at something Rainey just said.
Something about watching Steve Jobs. Oh
watching
God.
Dirty Jobs. He was collecting horse semen. Ellery said, I think those horse penises are as big as Dad's. LOL. That was a private message. That could be very misinterpreted. I'm just going to put, ha 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 ha. On the radio. Stick around and we'll talk about this in more detail. Smiley face. There you go. That's the beauty of small children. Small children. Rainey put up a post that Ellery said to her last night. And she said, Ma, she said, if Dad is so much smarter than you, no, if Dad knows so much more than you, why are you smarter than he is? And she put LM, laughing my ass off, LMAO. Now tonight, I'm going to repeat that for you all. Did you all catch what my young 6-year-old just said to my wife, Rainey? Watching Dirty Jobs. That's with Mike Rowe. And he was collecting horse semen. And Ellery said, I think horse penises are as big as Dad's. LOL. Now, I will say for the record, in case anybody thinks anything untoward, my daughter has seen me in the shower. She sees me getting dressed. She sees me. There was one time I'm standing in front of the toilet after a shower and I'm peeing, as most men do when they stand in front of toilets. And I hear a little giggle. And I look behind me, and Ellery's behind me, down on her knees, looking between my legs. And she goes, wow, Dad, you have a huge nutsack. Now, she was about 5 years old when she said that. That was a little over a year ago. So I'm not sharing that with you for any reason to gauge the size of my scrotal regions. But just to tell you that this is what my young Ellery comes out with. She is, I got to tell you, she impresses me. She impresses me with how witty she is. And she delivers with a comic flair. It's like, hey, so I met this guy in the bathroom and I said, is your nutsack always that big? Ching. I mean, that's the tone she delivers that in. And so now the comparison to equine penises.
She's going to be a stand-up comic.
She's going to be something. She's going to be a writer. She'll be the president of the United States or something. She's already queen of the universe. Stepped down, I realize, but so there you go. Ozzy and Jack Osbourne went to a horse ranch, and it was comedic gold. I'll bet, Mad Finn. I'll bet. I almost cut myself while I was cutting a kiwi for my oldest girl, said Siani. Oh, the kids. If Rainey knew I was sharing this on air, that would be interesting. So I'm going to keep sipping away at my
sip.
my Jameson. and Sprite. You know, I'm not losing my memory so far as I know. Although that is, they say that's one of the first things to go is your mind. And for me, it's my body. My body's falling apart in little bits and pieces and by stages. And of course, it's a roller coaster because you lose a part or you lose something that's not working well, but you regain it. And suddenly, oh, hey, this works today now, or this feels better today. Um, right now, I've got the cracked rib. Now, that's just an accident. That's something that's supposed to mend up anyway. But some days it goes all the way up into my chest, and today it wrapped all the way around to my back, which means the rib is cracked and it's a little out of place. So I'm going to have to go to a chiropractor to have that all set back into place. The thing is about going to a chiropractor is, do I want a chiropractor pushing and shoving and manipulating a bone that's got a crack in it? I'm pretty sure I can ask them, and they'll tell me it already hurts. And so things like that, my heart, my hip, all of these things that are things that start to decay on us the older we get. And my mind, I think, is fairly intact. It's funny how they say there are things you can do to stimulate your mind, to keep your mind working, challenge your mind every day. It's like exercise. If you don't walk, if you don't exercise your muscles, they'll grow atrophied eventually, and they won't work for you. I think your brain is probably the same way. So it's keeping your mind and your brain active. And but there are some days I'll get up at 8 o'clock in the morning around here. There's nothing to do here. Can't do anything before it. I can write, but rare are the mornings anymore where I wake up at 5 a.m. and have the vigor of writing. That comes later in the day, but I'll get up and I feel like crawling back into bed. And it's like, oh, just had a cup of coffee and I read my email, and now it's time for a nappy time at 8:30. And so keeping your mind active is an exercise. It's something you got to keep doing to keep it vital, to keep it active. You got to keep thinking. And, I don't do equations in my head, but I try to recite things in my head. And I try to remember things, and I try to write things in my head as I see them. And the more lax you're getting, the more your brain starts to go. Scotty, you're like what, 60? Wait until you're 66 like me, said Steve Clark. I believe you, Steve. That's 6 years away from me. And, you and I, Steve, we're in a category. We're guys in our 60s. We're in that new TV show called 60 something. And so do our minds really start going in our 60s? No, I don't think so. Especially with today's modern medicine, with today's culture, I think you start to see people slipping a little bit when they start getting up into their 70s. I said to Sam today, I said, do you realize in 10 years I'm going to be 70? Steve, it'll be in 4 years. Sorry to point that out, Steve. But I think about that sometimes. I go, I am on that sliding, slippery slope to old age. I'm 20 years from 80. I think of 20 years ago when I was 40, I was vivacious and vital and virile and the most available bachelor in my circles at 40, because I looked 30 at 40. That's all just for the sake of the conversation here, folks. Go with it. Go with it. And I met Rainey when I was 44, 16 years ago. And so, and Rainey, who was 20 years younger than me, was taken with a guy that was 20 years older than her. So we were all vital. But the older we get, we start to lose a little bit of that vitality. And this age is only in the mind, says Michelle Cannon-Free. It's in the mind and it's in the body, Michelle. Look at me. My white hair isn't mental. My wrinkles aren't mental. My neck, stuff on my neck isn't mental. So we all age. And I'm coping with it just fine. And it's not about coping. There's some people that cope with it more poorly than I do. But Or comment on your video, you might link to it. I missed that, what that was about. But this whole thing of aging, keeping the mind fresh. It's thinking about things. It's doing things. It's making things happen because the mind starts to slip right away if you're not careful. I can understand why you'd think Joe Biden would be a lot more vital than he is, and he's not. But he also had some externals. They say the death of a loved one can really start to crumble your cohesiveness, your comprehension. And I think that happened when his son died a few years ago. And that had a great effect on him. So there are things like that. What can we do? Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow night, Thursday night show. We'll talk about some of the things that you can do to keep yourself mentally active and vital. How do you do that?
Puzzles.
Puzzles?
Games.
You're talking like puzzles, like making puzzles? Little pieces? Like,
yeah.
I've seen more octogenarians going, anybody got a blue corner? So I hate puzzles, by the way. I hate them. I loathe puzzles. It feels like a waste of my time. Word games?
There's some Mad Libs.
Math libs.
Mad
Yeah.
Libs.
Oh, Mad Libs?
Math Libs.
Do some Mad Libs. I might be 66, but I act 20, says Steve Clark. Damn straight. Damn skippy, Steve Clark. I'll be 66 and 66, you know, is the new 36. Just telling you, Steve. Cheers. So there we go. It's a good St. Patty's Day.
Right.
And you know what we need to do, Sam?
Patty's Day is the death of St. Patrick.
Hold on. Was it the death or celebrating?
The death. The celebration of his death. One of the honorly things.
Yeah. It said that he drove out the snakes out of Ireland. It had nothing to do with snakes, of course, as we all know. So Sam and I, we're going to perform for you as best we can. We've got the lyrics called up here, and we're going to go ahead and do a little singing for you for St. Patty's Day. And by the way, here's to you, lads and lasses, for St. Patty's Day. If you're not Irish, you don't need to be Irish to celebrate St. Patty's Day. So Sam and I are going to perform for you a little number. Do you remember how the tune goes?
Not really.
To the words?
I thought you were going to just play it.
No, I'm not going to play it. It says, well, what version are they playing? Is the big question.
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
see.
it says Gaelic Storm, Kiss Me, I'm Irish.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's the
We'll see if you can even hear this.
I have to play
Oh,
it.
never mind. I'd have to go look it up, and it would probably eat up my bandwidth. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, go ahead and find it. We'll play you the song, and we'll sing along as the closing to this show. This is Gaelic Storm, Kiss Me, I'm Irish.
Oh, look, it's the first one that comes up.
Look at that. It's because of what day it is, probably. So go ahead and turn that sound way up.
Oh, damn ads.
We got to get through the ads. Your video will ad. I hate those where you can't skip them. Here we go. Old songs and old stories keep us alive. Without our past, we would never survive. I am my island. My island is me. So you know what you can do if you don't like what you see. I am, and I am still sober. I like my whiskey, and I love to dance. So if you're feeling as lucky as me, take a chance and kiss me, I'm Irish. My heart beats a jig, and your blood flows green. I've been a rogue and a rambler from ocean to sea, and I like a bevy. Now and then I'll never deny, but I only drink on the days of the week that I'm little wide. No saint and no sinner, of that there's no doubt. I'll tell you the truth, I'm the one that your grandmother warned you about. Kiss me, I'm Irish. I am the wild rover. My eyes are still smiling, and I'm seldom sober. I like my whiskey, and I love to dance. So if you're feeling as lucky as me, take a chance and kiss me, I'm Irish. Dublin, Milwaukee, Cleveland, and Cork, Kerry, Chicago, and New York, Belfast and Boston, Donegal and DC, raise your glass and sing. Sing with me. Kiss me, I'm Irish. I'm the wild rover. My eyes are still smiling, and I'm seldom sober. I like my whiskey, and I love to dance. And if you're feeling as lucky as me, so there we go, folks. That's it for tonight. It's all we've got. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thanks for joining us. And I hope you're enjoying the music as we go out. So we'll see you here tomorrow night. We're going to take a 23-hour break. And we'll see you right back here on this channel tomorrow night with something probably more substantive than drinking Irish whiskey. We want to thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. If you're not a member, hit the join button below. 3 ways to become a member. Go ahead and click on the one that appeals to you and become a member of this channel. And in the meantime, you guys have a good night. And I can't do it with my right hand, so I got to switch it. So live long and live prosper. Live long and prosper, folks. Have a good night. Don't yet. Go ahead.